You're listening to Rod and Style Radio, the latest podcast brought to you by rodandstyle.com, which is where you can find links for merch, videos from our YouTube channel, along with stories and tech talk from some of the greatest folks in the culture. So grab the wheel, it's about to get wild. You've tuned in to Rod and Style. Welcome back, Samma.
Hi, I'm back.
Yeah, there's been, 2 episodes? The last 2 episodes our listeners have heard you have not been on them.
Yeah, that's my bad. Oh my God, I have to cough so bad right now and I don't want to. I didn't have to cough this entire time and now I have to.
Right. As we are recording from the Custom Couple Lounge.
I know, it's so exciting.
It's like we get all set up in here, and then the dog wants to start barking, and then sirens want to go down our street.
Frank's is chilling on the other half of the couch, which is awesome because nobody knows about this really big-ass couch we have now.
Speaking of sirens, Samma Siren.
Hi.
Welcome back. Folks, if you haven't figured out which of your podcasts that you have playing on automatic right now, you're listening to Rod and Style Radio with the Custom Couple.
Yeah, with the Custom Couple. With our lovely host, Matthew York, Mad Lane,
and
Samma Siren, who does pinup shit. Just kind of dress up a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit enough to bring some titles home to Texas this last weekend.
Oh yeah.
So we'll get into that a little bit. We'll catch up on the exciting happenings of 16-hour road trips and
turned 24 hours on the second day.
A puppy on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it was actually really good. So yeah, we'll get into all of that. I would like to give some shout outs.
Okay.
Because as most of our listeners know, I really enjoy when our listeners interact with us. Mm-hmm. And, if y'all are doing that, if y'all are sending us messages, both of us run the pages on Instagram and Facebook. So you're typically talking to either one of us. I just want to let y'all know I really appreciate that. So keep sending us the messages. Let us know what you dig. Let us know that we're doing a good job, or if we're not, tell us what we could do better. Because I'm open to it. So what the hell is he chewing on now?
He's chewing on the pot that's outside, the plastic one.
The puppy has he's gotten used to being outside when we have to do shit.
That's his way of having the cup hit the jail cell. That's what he does with that pot. He drags it across the concrete so we can hear, like, hey, I'm still here. That's what he does. Don't go mess with him. Leave him alone. Yeah, that's what he does. He does it like that's his interpretation of that.
Right? He's outside singing, nobody knows
exactly.
The trouble I see.
Even though we just spent like $60 on dog food for only like 10 days for him.
But we got a message from another drag strip zombie.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, so Mark, he's hit me up earlier this week, and he was listening to the podcast. He was listening to our last one, and we were talking about, crazy traffic situations. And he hit me up and was like, "Don't try to drive your stock motored 53." I think he said a 53 or 54. Mark, hit me up again. We'll talk. But through Baltimore, apparently he was driving in near Baltimore, and the drivers up there don't like anything that's going less than 55 miles an hour.
Pretty much. I'd assume so. It's a very busy place, so I would assume it's almost as bad as New York in a sense, just because there's a lot of people there.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, the whole East Coast is just, like, hammered down with a bunch of people. And, we've talked about it before. I think it's wild that some of these places that we have friends that are in the car culture but like you and I would never dream of driving in those situations. Like Brian Newman and then Brian Darwas too. Both of them living in New York City and owning hot rods and customs. I think that's crazy.
I was scared in a damn Uber everywhere. Like I can only imagine owning a hot rod in that busy of a place. But no, I like where we live. And now we have a new house, and I love where we live. I never want to leave my house, but we have yet to be in it.
I know.
Because we've been so busy.
Since buying the house and then renovating.
I think with how much time we've... I can honestly say maybe since we've moved in, we've maybe stayed in this house maybe 10 days.
Yeah.
Like... That's it, because we leave we have so much shit going on. Like when we were in the old house, we didn't leave as much, but now that we're in the new house and we love where we're at, we can't because we have so much stuff. But I'd rather be really busy than us being a really slow kind of recording.
Yeah, we're gonna get into those months here soon. Like Texas doesn't experience winter the way like the rest of the country does. But we still have those months where you don't really want to be outside. Not only is it cold, but we have like wet, like humid winters.
Yeah.
And the humidity in the summer is one thing, but humidity in the winter, like you're just miserable.
Yeah.
Like it's just a slushy nastiness. It's miserable, really. But, the culture's favorite couple jumped onto the freaking road last weekend, and we had said all year long that we were going to Eville Shindig.
Yes, this was the most anticipated show we had because it was one of the furthest, because the last one we went to was Beatersville, but this one was the most anticipated one just because we had been watching the show for the last 3 years.
Yeah. And at the same time that we said yes to Beatersville, we had said yes to Eville. We
automatically already said yes to Eville.
Yeah, all of our friends in the Midwest were like, "This is the one. This is the one you got to go to."
All the hooligans. Of course, Chuck, Matt, Daryl, Keith, Cass.
What was Cass's daughter that participated in the
Miss
Little
Annabelle?
Miss Annabelle.
That was her first show. But yeah, we had a lot of friends that recommended this show and wanted us to go because we already made the trip to Kentucky, so that wasn't that much further away from it. So we're like, screw it, let's do it. So I think we had a lot riding on this of like, we built it up so much in our heads that we wanted to just like, man, this must be it. Like, this is the show. And boy, were we right.
Yeah, I think so. And by the way, we're totally going to put that on a sticker. Screw it, let's do it. I like that.
That's gonna be our new saying for 2023.
Yeah, if anybody gets knocked up in 2023, it'll be because they read it on a custom couple sticker.
But yeah, so we left during the week because we're crazy, because the show started on Thursday, but we left Wednesday at midnight. I hadn't packed anything on Wednesday, so we had to come home. You had to sleep. I had to pack as much as I could.
We worked on Wednesday.
Yeah, we worked too. So we were on 2 hours, 3 hours at max. You drove for a little bit, and then I took over, and then you got a ticket. So that woke me up.
Yeah.
In Dallas, of all places.
In Texas. We hadn't even gotten out of Texas yet. I got a speeding ticket.
Yeah, so that was great. But anyway, we switched about 4 in the morning we switched, and I drove us all the way until the last hour. Because I gave out after that. I was tired.
Yeah, that last hour, though, it was in Illinois going into Indiana.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, folks, but y'all probably already know this. There's nothing out there, and it is
the most boring drive ever.
Which, on occasion, I like a boring drive.
Yeah.
I like a boring drive when I'm pulling a trailer, and there's, it's just nice, smooth sailing, and there's no events happening.
Sometimes it's great, but when you've been driving for about 10 hours, that's very boring for someone who has to stare at the floor. So... But we finally made it to our hotel. We were so excited. The minute we pulled into our hotel, there was already, some really cool cars in the parking lot. And we're like, this is it. We're already here.
I know. I started taking pictures like a tourist.
But as y'all may know, if you've been following us for the past year, we were constantly promoting this show. And then, I was doing the pinup contest that I was really excited about because I got to hang out with Imogene, the Moonshine pinup, because I met her at Beatersville. I got to see Christina, which is Venus Athena. I met her in Beatersville as well. And I got to meet a lot of new people I've never met. Which was kind of cool because there was a couple girls that are from Evansville, and then there was a couple girls from Kentucky and Illinois, and kind of just all over. So it was really exciting.
That whole region. You were the furthest
I was the furthest
one away.
I think that's gonna be my new shtick. I'm the furthest one from all the shows because we come from Texas. But yeah, so that was a lot of fun. I was excited to meet a lot of new people because through competing in Texas, it's the same group, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it gets more exciting when you meet how other people do their shows and how other girls see shows and how they compete. That's always more fun to me.
Yeah, because this contest was different than what we're used to here.
And that's what I was telling Imogene is that, and her name is Genevieve. I just like her pinup name. I love the name Imogene. Like, I feel like I need to have another daughter and name her Imogene.
We'll get another cat.
Okay, we'll get a cat named her Imogene. But no,
that'll be my compromise.
I was telling her that it's so crazy to me to see how different the shows here in Texas are compared to the ones out there. Because the pinup shows out there, like, they do them like to I would say higher standard. I don't know how to make that not sound horrible for the shows that happen in Texas because it's just different. It's a lot different.
It is.
Like for this one, for perfect example, because I know they judged you not just how you look, but they judged you by your personality, your charisma, how you were from the minute you got on or you walked out to the minute it was over. They're like, we're looking at everything y'all do. So be sure to be in the spotlight and use that as your time. And to me, that's like, oh my God, that's how I see shows. Mm-hmm. So to know, like, okay, like, I really got to step it up. You already knew I've been planning for like 4 months what I was going to do.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that, to me, that's what stood out as well, was this show in particular had judges.
Yeah.
Right? So
it had it had Steve from Greaser Social Club.
Yeah.
We got to meet him, so that was great. And then we had two ladies who have done it before. I'm sorry if I don't remember y'all's names, but they've done it for previous years. They've been judges, and they get all glammed out as well. So they were the judges along with Steve. But something like that that's new to me because usually it's like somebody knows that does the Texas ones.
Right, and like the ones that we've been to around here, typically it's just based off of crowd participation.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably why I'm so loud.
You're ridiculously loud when it comes to these contests, but that's a good thing. It just I didn't really understand how supportive you were because, like, I'm not going to lie, there's 100% on the table. I would get annoyed at first with it because it was like, oh, my God, like, shut up. But then as I've done this over and over, I feed off of what you give me because everybody who tells me the same thing after every contest, they're like, you only look at your husband. And I was like, yeah. I was like, because I only see him in the crowd. That's it. If I see you, I know I'm okay. I'm like, okay, because I get so fucking nervous. Like, I don't know what it is about it. Like, and you've seen me, I get anxious. I start shaking. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, that girl looks great. She looks amazing. She's going to be really good. Like, I start comparing myself and psyching myself out before I'm even out there.
I think it's funny, though, because I'm just going to say some things, and I'm not starting a bunch of crap, I promise. We're just having a conversation here. But, like I do go out and I am going to be your biggest cheerleader every single time.
Yeah.
100%. And I've think it's funny, like when you won Invasion last year.
Oh my God, that one
it's
was
like
so much
you
fun.
won. They announced that you were the winner, and all of a sudden I'm getting picked up in the crowd, and I'm like crowd surfing through the crowd. Like they were cheering me on, and I was like, but as your husband, like that's how I see that it should be. And like I've mentioned to you on a few occasions, it's like if any of the other girls on stage were married, I didn't know it.
Yeah.
Because when they came up to the stage, there wasn't any single person in the audience that was louder than the rest.
So there's a message to all the husbands: step it up, scream loud. But good luck, because my husband is incredibly loud.
Well, because if anybody ever gets louder than me, I'll pull out a megaphone.
No, I think that's the number one reason why I let you get so ridiculous is because I feed off of it. When you get crazy, I get crazier. And I'm like, oh my God, it like fuels me up in a sense, which is funny for me to say that, but it is. I try and look at everybody else, but then I just look at you the whole time and I'm like, okay, I'm fine. But it's a lot of fun. I've been doing this now for 3 years, since we've been together, because I did pinup shows before, but I never like took it to the extent that I take it now, because now I'm like, no, I think about every single detail. I think about how I want it to look, how I want to present. I do everything by myself. I do you've seen it. I'll get up at 3-4 in the morning and I'll start my hair, and then I do my makeup, and then I get dressed. It's a whole process. It takes me the longest I've ever taken is 6 hours to get ready.
Yeah.
And that sucked. But,
get ready in 6 hours and then drive for like 3. So I think that was like a Houston show.
Yeah, that was Houston.
So yeah, it's like get ready for 6 hours and then drive.
Yeah. But that's the fun part. I have a lot of fun figuring out what I want to wear, because that's the even better part is I don't do any trial runs. I'm kind of like, okay, I want my hair to look like this and I want my outfit to be this, but I don't put it all together until the day of the show, which can either be really great or really bad.
And you had a lot of competition this year at Eville.
All these women were so beautiful. Like, my God. Like, not saying there's not beautiful women here in Texas, but here we get maybe 8 to 10 girls, except for Invasion this year.
You were up against 14 other girls.
Yeah, Invasion this year was crazy, but for Eville Shindig, that was the most I've ever competed with. It was 15 girls, and I think that was another crazy thing that me and Imogene pointed out, was that we had a lot of brunettes. You don't usually see that. You see a lot of blondes or a lot of redheads.
Especially in the Midwest.
But
then again, you are the spiciest thing coming up from South Texas.
But that was like a big thing. I was like, oh my God, there's all these other girls.
That's just a joke because we're that close to Mexico, folks.
I know. If not, sorry. Oh, well, you got offended. But no, it was one of those things that was like, shit. It's like, okay, it's not just, I'm the one that has the darkest hair or whatever. Like, I think about shit like that. I don't know why, but I do. But it was a lot of girls, and every single one of them brought something unique. I was facing against someone who was Miss Rustober 2 years ago. And I was facing girls who have gone and done Eville Shindig before. So it was like, I was definitely...
Christina won last year.
Christina won last year. And so that was another thing. So it was just like, oh God, I'm going against people that, they know this show. And that always is something to me, like, I'm excited to do it my first time at a show. But then I'm also nervous when I know other girls have done it, because they know how to do it already.
Or they know a lot of the people, local area versus coming, 15 hours away. Now, granted, we had, friends there. We did know people there, but at the same time, we weren't local.
Yeah, and so that was a little bit tougher. But fast forward, it was the day of the show. We have Jimmy Dean, and this was Jimmy Dean's first trip.
Dog mom.
Yeah, dog mom life. We had to take a dog. God, he had to pack an own suitcase for him. But we had him. We were adamant about bringing him, because that's the whole reason why we got a tiny dog, even though he's probably not going to be tiny. But we got him. We wanted him to go to the shows. So day of show, we show up. We have him, and God, we haven't even tried having him out in a public setting. This was the first fucking time.
Yeah.
So we just wanted to mix everything in one. He did really good, though. He did really good.
And shout out to the local Rumble Cats up there, because one of them had a basset hound.
Yes.
Yeah.
They did.
Shout out to y'all. I'm sorry we didn't get to actually meet.
Yeah.
But yeah. I always love seeing other hound dogs.
But we get to the show. It's absolutely beautiful weather. The weather couldn't be more perfect. It was just so nice. I was so jealous of the weather up there. But we get there, and of course, who's the first person we see? We see our amazing sponsor, Knucklehead Art, Dan.
Yeah, he had a booth set up almost right next to the entrance.
Yeah, right in the front. We got to see him. So that was already exciting because we've been talking for months about seeing each other. So I was like, yes, we finally get to hang out. And so we got to see him. And then we did our little walk around and seeing the campers out there, seeing all the vintage campers and seeing all that. It was amazing. They were all decorated. Like, that whole area where the show is, Bob picked the perfect spot. I love that spot where the show's at.
Yeah, those fairgrounds. And I'm sorry, I don't remember what the name of the fairgrounds were.
I don't remember either.
But it was a 4-H fairgrounds that were up there in Evansville. So, but they were just beautiful. They were beautifully maintained. Where the campers were at was like surrounded by trees. Like it really
beautiful.
Just had that whole feel to it. I really loved that whole, aspect of the show where people could bring out their vintage campers and actually stay there on the grounds.
Yeah, they started coming out, I think, Wednesday or early Thursday. They were allowed to go out there and set up where they wanted to be. So that was really cool. But yeah, so there was one side of all the vintage campers, and then on the whole other side was all the cars. Oh, Franks wants to be on the podcast, apparently.
Oh, welcome to the show, Franks. She got to stay here.
Yes, our lovely friend and neighbor, Patty, came to feed her, and she's the invisible cat because Patty never saw her.
Patty never saw her the entire time.
She just knows.
We promised that we own a cat, Patty. We didn't have you just putting food in a bowl for no reason.
Well, no, she had to because all she said, she's like the invisible cat that poops. She's like, I can tell somebody pooped here. Yeah, okay, apparently. But so first time we saw the show, absolutely blown away. I'm walking in heels from 12 all the way about noon all the way to midnight, because the first day, so Friday was the day that we went out. It started on Thursday. We went Friday so that we can make face, we can say hi to everybody, and immediately I'm turned on to that point where I'm like, okay, I have to meet everybody. I need to let people know what I'm here for and just talk. So that was basically the whole first day.
Everybody loved that little dog.
I know. Everybody loved him. His poor little ears. I was
there too, folks. I promise you.
His poor little ears.
Samma and Jimmy Dean absolutely stole the show. Everybody had to pet that dog. Everybody.
I know. Poor baby. He got so spoiled. Now he hates it because he doesn't get to see 50 million people in one day.
Right.
But so we got to do that, and he did really good. I was really excited about how good he was. He did his one lap, and then he passed out. So we had
to put him in the wagon.
We had to go get a fucking wagon.
So if you see pictures of this show, yes, folks, I am pulling a pink wagon.
That is Jimmy Dean's house.
Yeah, that was his house for the weekend.
Yeah, because we have a tent. we have not spoiled this dog at all.
Not one bit.
Yeah, because he has a tent for his wagon, so the sun doesn't come on his face because it's too hot, and then he's gonna be. Yeah, I know. We've thought about this, but yes, if you see pictures of Matt with the wagon, it's because it either had the dog in it or did not. Because he would get grumpy after a while. He would just drag. Yeah. He wouldn't walk anymore.
So the sun starts going down that first day, and that's when they pulled all of the cars that have flamethrowers next to the lake. And we got to see, we left for like 5 minutes to go change clothes.
Yeah, because we had the show. They had They had
the costume Halloween party that night.
Yeah, they had the Halloween costume party, and then they had our lovely Texas friend Dale Watson playing. Out of all the years that they could have had him, they had him the one year that the Texans went.
And the kid that played first, Jimmy Dale.
Yeah, Jimmy Dale.
Dude, oh my God, folks! Like this guy.
He played at Invasion the year that I won. He played right before Big Sandy.
Did he really?
Yeah, that's the only reason why I remember him. That's why Christy knows him.
Ah, okay, yeah. He was excellent. We tore it up to his playing.
Oh my God, I was dying. I was out of breath. Yeah, there was a couple of older folks that were loving the way we were dancing because nobody
didn't see anybody dancing.
No.
Though, so we hit the floor and everybody was like, "Whoa, what's going on here?
What's going on?"
Yeah,
not the fact that my lovely pants were not staying up, but the fact that we were dancing.
Yeah. I mean, the pants was secondary, but so. That was one thing. The music was absolutely great, and we didn't see anybody dancing to it. So we were trying to get folks, ripping and roaring out there. And a few people jumped in, like, after seeing us.
Yeah, I think it always takes that one.
Flamethrowers. Like, we're not just talking about, like, the exhaust pipes or, like, throwing some flames. But, like, they have, like, whole setups on the backs of those cars that they're ripping, like, 50-foot flames.
Intense. It was so, I felt like a little kid. I was so excited to see such tall flames.
I mean, there was a 66 Plymouth Fury. I'm pretty sure it was a 66, so if I'm wrong, I apologize. But I'm pretty sure it was a 66, and it looked like he had 50-gallon trash cans coming off the back of his car, like off of his exhaust, and he was shooting it like 100 foot in the air.
It was the one at the end, right?
Yeah, the white one.
That was the one that had candy.
Yeah.
During the day.
Yeah, during the day they had candy inside those canisters that they were letting the kids take.
Don't worry, there was a plastic bag. It wasn't just in there, but he did a little plastic bag and he put like candy for the kids to come get.
But yeah, he was shooting like 100-foot flames off of that thing.
Those flames were intense, and I've never seen anything like that. So to see that in person, and we were close because when we came back, I didn't know
we parked right next to where they were doing it.
Yeah, so we got to see him like in like literally maybe 100 feet away at most. Like, it was very close, but it was so much fun to see that because I've never seen anything like it. And I was like, man, that's really cool. And then you just see all the black grass because it was burnt.
Yeah. Well, they were doing it towards the lake.
Yeah.
So, like, all the grass, like, right there around the lake was burnt up. But then, like, we were seeing it, and it was, like, shooting, like, the fluid or whatever is, like, coming out of the back of there.
Going into the water.
Lake. So, like, the water was on fire. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, it was so rad. They did it the second night, too.
Yeah, they did it the second night. So, that was just the first night. The first night was jam-packed. We went from 12 all the way
to 12.
To 12. So, we were passed out. My feet were on fire because I was in heels all day and all night. And that was just, we're like, oh, we're fine. And we were dying when we got back to the hotel.
I know you mentioned it already, but it was pretty funny that we drove up from Texas to go see Dale Watson.
Yeah. And he saw us the first thing, the minute
as soon as he was setting up, he was like, oh, there's some faces I haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, look, my Texas friends are here. And it's like, hi. Yeah, we traveled all this way to see you, even though you live like 30 minutes away from where we live.
I used to do Sundays with Dale Watson.
I was going to say, you have pictures of y'all's cars and y'all posing together in front of the cars that we still have.
We used to do every third Sunday, the Mad Hatter's Car Club and Whistle and Wolf Media. Mm-hmm. We were doing Sundays out at the Big T, which is no longer here anymore. That was Dale Watson's bar. And...
it's not a beer, guys. It's a soda.
Yeah, so if Big Red could sponsor our podcast, Texas would love that.
I would love that.
Yeah, Texas would love it if Big Red sponsored Rod and Style Radio with the custom couple. But yeah, we used to hang out with Dale Watson a lot, and we'd have all the hot rods and stuff parked out in front of that little dive bar, and we would play chicken shit bingo.
Oh my God.
And I didn't get a chance to actually like talk to Dale because we like caught a part of his set and then we bounced out, and it was because it was just
We
getting late.
purely went to support, and we would have loved to stay for the Crank Daddies, I think, that played that night. They were the ones that were...
I think the Crank Daddies played the night before. I want to say after Dale Watson was the Psycho DeVilles.
Yeah, there you go. I think you're right on that one. And we would have loved to stay, but I was so tired, and I still needed to get up at like 4 a.m. the next day, so I was like, yeah, we got to go. So we left. The next day comes. That's ultimate show day. I got to compete. I got to show out. I get up at 5 a.m. You're already up outside with Jimmy Dean. I'm trying to get ready. And I just so y'all are all aware how serious I take it. This poor man over here, he had to zip me up in a dress, and he nearly tore his fingers apart trying to pull that little fucking zipper.
I'm going to put it out to the world.
That's why I mentioned it.
I'm going to put it out to the world. Zippers, need to either become fashionable so we can see them and y'all aren't trying to hide them all the time, or B, find a better way to hide them other than making them the tiniest little thing in the freaking world. A man's hands that have to zip his wife into a dress, they are not meant for tiny zippers.
I know.
I want the zipper that comes on a pair of Levi's jeans on the side of that fucking
and
dress.
I've had this discussion with you. I'm like, I'm fine with a big ass industrial zipper. I don't give a shit. But no, just that part. Oh my God, I always dread that part for you because I'm like, it fits. It's just so much things in this dress that we just gotta fit. But we get dressed. We head out. We go. Did we even have breakfast? That's another thing. I don't eat on the days of the show. I get nervous, so I don't fucking eat at all. But we go.
Yeah, it's a total catch-22 because it's like you get nervous and you don't eat, and it makes you lightheaded and sick. But if you eat, then you get sick, and you're like, well, fuck.
Yeah, I done fucked myself at this point. But we get there. We got the Jimmy Deans. He's walking around with me. We're making faces and we're meeting people and, you know, kissing hands and shaking babies.
That's what we do.
Yeah, that's what we do in Texas. But again, everybody loved the Jimmy Dean. Everyone's rubbing his ears and hanging out. We hang out with Christina and Chad and their kids. So that was another thing. We got to meet their kids.
Yeah, this was the first time for that. At Beatersville, we met them, and then at Evansville for Eville Shindig, we got to meet the whole rest of the family.
Yeah.
So that was really cool.
And that was that's like another thing, just real side quick note that I like, is that through these pinup competitions that I've been doing that are, you know, out of state, it's like I meet these women and then I become really good friends with them. Like me and Christina keep up to date with each other. So when I told her we were going to Eville Shindig, it was like me and her were counting down the days. It's like, I'm going to see you. We're going to be in person again. And then to meet her daughters who absolutely loved me and I love them because they're so cute. You know, seeing that, like, that was exciting to me.
Oh, they were totally excited to show you their costumes,
their poses,
their walks.
Oh yeah, no,
I mean,
it was very cute.
You know, Samma just totally came home with like a whole fan club, and it was so wonderful to see.
I got Miss Annabelle. She was so cute. She competed in her first one, and I gave her my blue rose that I bought because it matched her dress. And she's just an adorable little girl. I love her so much. I'm probably gonna steal her.
And then Christina's girl won the Little Miss contest.
Yeah, she won. She did really good. She was really good. She was really cute. It was a tough competition. There was a lot of kids.
Oh yeah,
there's a lot of little cuties and a lot of little boys. And the little boy, Dixie Delight, the second place girl that won. Her son was the one that won, the little greaser, and he got his own leather jacket. And she was telling, her real name is Sheila. Sheila told me that he didn't take that jacket off at night. He wore it to sleep, and his whole attitude just changed after that because he was so excited that he won.
Yeah, and that's really cool. Like, in all of my experience in car culture in the last 20 plus years, when it comes to car shows and competitions and pageants and all of that, it's always a very double-edged sword when it comes to kids.
That's a hard one.
Because kids, it's like you don't want to say somebody won or somebody lost.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of the thing now. And I'm kind of against that. I kind of think that there should be winners and losers. Not that anybody's a loser, because, like, the whole saying is, I either win or I learn.
Yeah.
So
I think that's where it's different for you, because you don't see a winner and a loser. You see someone who won and someone who can, just take it as it is and get better.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lesson for, like you just said, it's a lesson for them.
It's still tough to judge kids, right?
Well,
like, to have a judging contest of kids.
Well, yeah, there was the one competition I did. That's just what we literally me and the girls were talking about. Because Rostoberfest, I don't know if you know this, but I found this out. They have an official, unofficial contest, a pinup contest.
Yeah.
And anybody can enter. So it's any ages. So 1 year, the girl that competed in, I think 2019, I'm sorry if it's wrong, but she competed and it was between her and a kid, and she beat that kid. And then now this year, a baby won. And that's a little confusing to me, because that was like when I competed for one of the shows here. It was me and a little girl, and it's like, man, well, at this point, like, what's the point? No one wants to make a little kid cry and upset them. But then it's like, well, shit, now I feel like crap, because it's like, it's like, damn. Like, well, I don't know. I mean, it's a tough spot. It's a tough spot.
It's a double-edged sword for sure. But the positive side of all of that is like, okay, so Sheila, you said her name was?
Yeah, she goes by Dixie Delight.
Her son wins, and he gets this leather jacket.
Yeah,
and he loves it so much, and he's sleeping in it, and he
has a little
the next
tattoo.
day, he's gonna have a comb in his back pocket.
Yeah,
his jeans are gonna be rolled up a little nicer the next day.
Yep.
Like, doing things like these little competitions like that, that is what I feel is pushing our culture forward.
Absolutely.
Into the next generation. And I think, a lot of parents love to get their kids involved with what we're doing. I mean, we take Penny out, and we know a lot of other parents in the car culture that take their kids out. Prime example, Chris and Dean Niederkram have been in my life for the last at least 7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
And I've seen how Chris has involved Dean in everything that he does.
Oh, yeah.
And how much Dean has grown up now and is just like...
We were literally talking about that today.
Yeah.
To be in high school, to have, I think, 2 or 3 hot rods. Like, he drives... his Falcon, right?
Yeah, he has a Falcon.
Yeah, he drives his Falcon.
And then he's building a Model A Roadster pickup. And then Chris has the Cookie tribute car.
Yeah, and then he still has his other one, the one that he did.
The 33.
Yeah, which
the 33.
Eventually will go to Dean.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that car is so cool that Haggerty did an ad with it.
Yeah, but it's tough to see
Dean
like
and Chris
that.
were in that ad, and it's like, the next generation of hot rodder is coming from doing things like getting your kids involved at the car shows. I mean, I feel that 100%. So.
Oh yeah, no, I really enjoyed it, because we, like I said, we don't see things like that here in Texas. So to be able to see shows that involve kids, like, that's really cool to see. So I love seeing the kids. The kids were so cute. I got so excited. I got on the damn floor to cheer for Annabelle, and then I got behind her, just because she was so nervous and she was so cute. But she was so excited. She voted for me. She was so cute. I couldn't get over her. She was just such a little sweetheart when I met her. I was just like, oh, I just want to steal her forever.
That's Hooligan family. For those of y'all that don't know, we used to be hooligans here down. Hooligans?
No, we used to be hooligans. We were when we first started dating, and then eventually got married. But we were hooligans, and nothing bad happened. We were just the only ones left in our chapter here, and we just didn't feel like we were doing enough to be not doing enough, but we just wanted to be how they were.
We had to follow the rules.
Yeah, we had to follow the rules, which is a minimum of 5,
right?
I
think you had to have a minimum of 5 people to cover the officers of the club.
I'm like,
but neither here nor there.
Exactly.
You had to follow the rules, and we couldn't do that. Not that we wouldn't, we just couldn't.
Yeah.
And we respectfully bowed out.
Yeah.
But
that's never changed anything.
It didn't. It really didn't. Because anywhere we go, anytime we hang out with hooligans, like,
it's fun time.
It's a party. And if you've seen me in Carrollton, Illinois, shirtless eating a pizza,
it
was because of hooligans and Malort.
Malort.
Which is funny. So Malort's from Chicago. And
it's a Swedish liqueur.
So down here in South Texas, it has started showing up at bars.
I know.
And these hipsters are making drinks out of it. And like it's kind of a thing down here now. So all these hipsters are doing it before it was cool. Nah, I did it back in 2016, hanging out with a bunch of hooligans at a car show in Carrollton, Illinois.
Yuck.
Ugh.
Yuck.
I'll have another.
No, I will not. It's disgusting. Disgusting. But back to Eville Shindig.
Eville Shindig.
We walked around a bunch just to fast forward a little bit because I don't want to bore you all to pieces. Fast forward, we do. It's time to start the damn competition. I'm nervous as shit. And that's another thing about Eville Shindig. They don't just have Miss Eville Shindig. They also do, which is a Midwest thing, I'm assuming, because we don't do that here either. They do People's Choice, and sometimes they do it for first place too. But basically, you get people to vote for you by giving you $1, $5, $10, whatever they want, and every dollar is a vote for you. So that's really cool that Eville Shindig has that because it means another winner, right? So. That's where Jimmy Dean comes in handy because everyone's excited to meet him. So I stuck my envelope to him and I was like, vote for my mama and I'm going to walk around with him. And boy, was that cute. Everybody loved him and loved me.
I know, but we only got like halfway around and that envelope started like ripping.
It was ripping to shreds and I was so fucking scared it was just going to bust open.
Because you were getting all kinds of votes at that point.
Yeah, I was working it with Jimmy Dean. My God, we were trying to get as many as we could. Because, I know at the end of the day, you don't got to do that. But for me, it was just like, oh my God, like this is crazy. Let's just do it.
You want to participate. Like, there's that stigma.
When I compete, it's go big or go home. If I didn't want to, then I wouldn't have had us drive 15, 16 hours to get to the show.
Right. And it's like there's that stigma that, that you can't promote yourself.
Yeah.
And I think the girls need to, in anything that you do, you need to, absolutely jump off that cliff.
Yeah.
Don't step, last minute and second guess yourself and then fall to your death.
Exactly.
If you're going to hang glide, you jump 100% off that cliff full speed.
Yeah.
And you do that every time.
That's something I've slowly learned throughout me competing a couple of times is how to just let it happen. Once you've already jumped off, oh well. Figure out if you're going to fall or you're going to glide, one or the other.
Exactly.
And so
you went for it.
Yeah, I did. It was crazy. But yeah, so we did all that. We collected. We went to meet up. I got to meet Mandy, who was the MC for the pinup contest. She competed a couple years back as well. But she was organizing it. So I finally got to meet her and she was excited to meet me because, we came all the way from Texas. But they let us know we're going to do this, X, Y, and Z. We come down. I see you and all the hooligans in the front. I see Jimmy Dean freaking out.
Oh, because he found another dog.
Yeah.
I was trying, you can't tell a puppy not to be a puppy.
Yeah, you can't be like, don't meet a friend.
Yeah.
But
he was flipping out, and I was like trying to keep him in place. So I was like, nope. I'd send him up to Samma. I was like, here, you hold him. So she's up on stage with the damn dog.
I'm up on stage, and then I'm like, oh God, I can't do this. I can't hold him and try and do what I need to do. So fun fact, I was also the first person to go out. So That was nerve-wracking. Nobody ever wants to go first because you either set the bar or you get judged compared to every single one anyway because you're the first one to go.
See, I would think like the last person to go, if you could really pull your game and be the last person to go because you'd be the most stand out on somebody's mind if you're the last one.
I would want to either, based on how it's gone for me the past couple times, I honestly hate being last. I think it's because just because if it's so many girls at some point,
people are already not paying attention.
Yeah, you're already at that point where like, okay, let's get to the end. Let's start. I've already figured out who I like, and I feel like it's a harder sell because you're the closer. So it's like if you don't stick out or if you don't have that personality that shines, it can go against you really bad. But I don't know. That can be in any spot. That's just how I see it. Mm-hmm. I've never had the luck when I'm at the end. I've always had the luck when I'm at the beginning or the middle. Which is FYI to all the ladies. If I compete, don't put me in the fucking end because I'll be pissed.
Right now they're gonna be all fucking catty about it.
Or you know what? Maybe I tricked John. Maybe I want to be at the end. Ooh.
They're all listening to the podcast. Go, we got this bitch now. She can't beat us next time. We know her secrets. No, absolutely not.
I'm crazy.
You're the first one to come out, and you did exactly what you said.
Yeah.
You were the first one to come out and set that bar.
Yeah, I came out with a bang. So if anybody didn't see the pictures or doesn't follow what we do, well, I haven't even posted the picture of it, to be honest with you. This was the first time I ever done it. I was trying to figure out how I wanted to do it. So I had my little parasol. It sounds like Lysol. But anyway, I had my little parasol and I was like, okay, I'm going to do something crazy. It wasn't really that crazy, but it was cool. I got my little biodegradable confetti. I made sure it was. I wanted to make sure that they can blow it out and let it, die within the grass.
Yeah.
I didn't want to ruin the environment while I was doing that. But anyway, I don't know why I'm laughing.
Now, if I show up with poppers, don't expect anything, all right?
Yeah. So I color coordinate everything. So I was doing black and pink themed. I dyed my hair, my little strip. Been
blonde for 2 years.
My little money piece was black and blonde for 2 years. I dyed it right before we left a nice hot fuchsia pink because I was wearing black and pink for the show, which are colors I don't normally wear. So I got little pink confetti and I put it in my parasol. So when I walked out, I popped it open and I spun while all of the confetti flew out, and it was like snow. It fell so beautiful. I was so excited about it.
It worked perfectly. First try. She had never done this before.
No.
There was no trial runs.
No.
It was your second parasol though, because your first one,
the original one,
you snapped it open and the rib just ripped right through the paper.
And then it completely gave out after that. So I was like, "Fuck! I now no longer have my fucking prop that I need to do this." So I had to buy another one. Last minute that didn't match. Franks, can you not mess with the recording equipment? That would be great.
She's turning up the volume.
She's like, I need to hear more. But yeah, so I originally broke the prop that I had, but I did it. It worked. That was the first time I ever did it in front of people or just ever in general. But I was gonna
say we had never tried this at home. This was not anything that we didn't know that the trajectory of where that confetti was gonna go.
I didn't know if it was gonna just fall all to one side. I just didn't know. We didn't know what was gonna happen. So the minute I saw it in the air and it was floating, I was so happy and excited that I was feeding off that because I was like,
you could see it in the pictures.
I was like, this was my moment and I let it happen. And so that was the set of the tone for me. I already felt on cloud nine. I didn't care. Like I did care, but I didn't really at that point because I was like, okay, I accomplished what I wanted to do.
Oh yeah. You went out there and just set it. Like absolutely the bar was there. Like there was I mean, like I said before, 15 girls in a competition.
That's
you definitely
tough.
had a lot of talent in the room
Yes.
that was, going to be tough to go up against. And you just went on that stage and owned it. And the best part about that,
I had to carry Jimmy Dean halfway through the competition
Yeah.
because he wanted to be near me.
this dog mom, she's having to answer questions. She's having to, come up with stuff on the spot.
Yeah, because I
And
don't
while sitting there holding this basset hound
asleep.
that's sleeping on her like a baby.
Yeah, because he was getting antsy. I kept seeing him freak out with you, so I literally walked away from the stage to go get him, and then I started carrying him, and he got too heavy, so I put him down. But yeah, I had him with me after that because he just wouldn't stop. But yeah, that was fun. And that's another thing. I don't prepare myself for questions at all. I kind of just wait until I get a question. Because we were given the list of questions, which was very nice. A lot of people don't do that. And a lot of people can't answer questions right off the bat. I prefer it because I feel like if I study them, I'm going to fuck up. I'm going to overthink it.
Yeah.
But answered questions. We did the Little Miss and the Little Mr. Greaser contest. So I was with Miss Annabelle helping her out, cheering her on and yelling for her. And then we got the results. And we started off with third place, and third place was Imogene. And I was so happy for her because she looked so great.
I know she even got horny Mike to grab up on her a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit, just a tiny bit.
Just a tiny bit.
Spicy.
They get spicy in Indiana.
They do get spicy. But Miss Imogene, third place, happy for her. So I'm like, well, shit. Okay, I might not have it in the bag. And then second place, Dixie Delight, Sheila, which I personally, just me, I thought she was gonna win. She was like tens across the board. I thought she looked so gorgeous. Her little cape had Eville Shindig on it. And those are little touches that, like a lot of people don't pay attention to, but I look at. I'm like, that takes time to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So in my head,
She had the boxes checked off.
Yeah, in my head, she had the boxes checked off. And, like I said, that's the one thing about pinup contests, that you don't know what the judges are looking for. You don't know what they think. You don't know none of that.
You don't know what they had for breakfast that morning. You don't know if they're hangry.
I don't know if they snacked. I should have brought snacks. I should throw peanuts out next time.
As long as they don't have an allergy.
But no, so I heard her and I was like, shit. I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, it's not me. That's okay. I was like, it's fine. I'm over here looking at you. And then they tell me it's me, and I freak the fuck out. I get so excited like a little kid. I'm smiling and jumping up and down, and I go up and get my sash and my little crown.
And she couldn't even hear her husband in that audience.
No. Just kidding. No, but I got really excited. It was very happy moment, because I honestly, I have those moments where I think I got it, and then I'm like second guessing myself after I hear certain girls, because I'm like, shit, like that was good. But I won. I was so happy, so excited. Wasn't paying attention to anything else they were saying, because they were taking pictures of me and Imogene and Dixie. And so then they were talking about People's Choice, and so they were doing that. Mandy was talking to, I don't remember his name.
The other MC.
Yeah.
I can't remember what his name was either.
Yeah.
I talked with him on a couple of occasions.
Well, I was too busy talking to the girls, because I'm like, oh my God, they're all congratulating me. And he was saying something, and then he's like, she's not even paying attention to me. I'm just going to go hang out with her dog. And I was like, what? I was like, what are you talking about? Not paying attention in the slightest. And then Mandy gets on the mic, and she's like, okay, well, now we're going to announce People's Choice. And I was like, okay, let's see who wins. Like, all excited like a dumbass. And Mandy's then like, oh, Samma won. And I was like, what the shit? And I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so...
And you weren't even paying attention either. You were talking to the hooligans.
Yeah. Well, because I was like, you won.
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, well, whoever gets People's Choice, that good for them.
Yeah, congrats to them.
Turns out Sam's bringing home 2 titles to Texas.
Which was never done before.
Yeah. But I mean, people's choice was by votes. I mean, it's not like they just picked you to be that.
So
like,
that was
you were voted in to be people's choice as well.
That was purely based on the audience, literally, from all the people walking around that we met. They gave me money. So the fact that people were, and it wasn't just the dollars. I was getting 5s, I was getting 10s, I was getting 20s. Like the fact that people loved what I was doing and how I looked and saw how much pride I have in these contests, like how I look, like that means a lot to me. And you know, even today when I posted that picture that it's that photographer's name, I forgot what he goes by.
Hot Rods by G.
There you go, thank you. He got a picture of me when I was wearing the crown and I was smiling to death because, you know, I get so excited. But like I get emotional, and it sounds so stupid because, like, you know, you get it. Yeah, everybody wants the sash and the crown, but I get emotional knowing that what I do is taken to such a degree that people love what I do. Mm-hmm. Because I take so much, and you see it, I take so much time and effort into everything I do. So to know that I'm appreciated for what I do, what I used to get made fun of in high school, it's like, no, I know I've made it to where I want to be.
Yeah, and I see, because of course I'm in it 100% with you.
Yeah.
You know, I see a lot of things that other people don't necessarily see.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of time that it goes for you to get ready, and I think about like what all the other girls are doing, you know, what their husbands probably see. Yeah. And I think about, you know, the amount of the time, the effort, the planning, the, you know, to put things into a little bit of perspective here, for y'all, for, you know, for what Samma does for these competitions. She does all of her own hair and makeup. The couple times that anybody else has even attempted to do hair and makeup,
we don't talk about those.
we don't talk about them. If you want to message Samma later
that's a
while
Disney.
She's driving, she would love to talk to you about.
No, that's a Disney. We don't talk about Bruno. We don't talk about that.
Yeah.
No, I feel like I have, and you know, I can always have room for improvement, but I feel like I have truly mastered, or at least gotten advanced to where I know what works for me and how I like to look. So I feel like no one can pull off what I want to come off as.
Now, what was neat about this competition, do you remember what the people were that were doing the hair?
Battling, or I think it's Batlin, like with the, like Battlin.
Oh, like battling.
Battling, yeah. Sorry,
like,
I was trying to think.
They're just knocking that G off the end of it.
Yeah, I was trying to think of how to say it, but it was Batlin Betty's.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're the ones who are doing hair.
Because they put out some pretty good dudes.
They did I think 7 of the girls' hairs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they did 7 girls, 7 or 6, but they had beautiful victory rolls and rolls in their head, and it looked really good. And I originally was gonna do that, but again, I'm such a stickler, and I like doing it myself because I feel like, and it's not like they didn't do beautiful hair. They really did.
You have a routine about how you get dressed, too.
Yeah, so I do everything in an order, and if I go out of order, it messes up my whole day because it doesn't go the way I want it to. But yeah, I have I pin rolled my hair like when we were in Texas, so it stayed in my hair for like over 24 hours. But yeah, like there's just a certain way. But no, they did amazing hair on the girls that they had. They did Christina's hair. They did her hair last year. It's being able to see like how much hair they can do in a day. And I think about mine. I'm like, shit, mine takes all day. I can only imagine how advanced you have to be able to do that many girls' hair, because that's a lot.
Yeah,
they started
crazy.
At like 9 a.m. or 6 a.m. I think.
Right. So, I mean, like, I mean, you're having to knock it out and move on to the next, and they were doing that, yet holding on to that quality.
Yeah, and then still trying to make sure they were on time for the girl to go home or to go get dressed, and then still get everything else. It's a process, and I'm sorry.
Shout out to them.
I'm sorry if we turn this into the pinup contest 101, but no, it was. There's just so much work that goes into it, and that's like what I said today. You know, when I put up that picture. It takes so much confidence and so much courage to get up on stage and let people stare at you and, you know, judge you essentially. Yeah. It's a lot. It's really scary. I still get nervous to this day. But it's a lot. It's a lot. And so, you know, I'm very grateful for, you know, winning. That's always great. But, you know, it's the women that I get to meet and be around and see how much confidence they have and what they want to achieve. It's a very sweet moment. I enjoy that moment more than anything.
You know what I really enjoy? And this is going to sound negative, but it honestly is positive.
Okay.
I really enjoy how standoffish a room full of women can be. Until one just walks in and starts introducing herself to the entire room and like gets that conversation started.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that my wife does that. You have told me so many stories about how much, you know, at first you'll get hated on.
Oh, and yeah. I've gotten some ugly looks. Not at this particular show.
No, not at this show at all, but in general.
Yeah, in general, I've gotten some ugly-ass looks when I've been at shows.
And then, like, you just have that persona that, like, softens people up.
Yeah, because I don't want to be negative. That's stupid. I have too much fun at these shows.
Right, and I love the fact that, you know, you're able to do that because, you know, you worry about that sometimes because of how, you know, people can be.
Yeah.
And you've taken that worry and just turned it around and said, I'm going to be the person that's going to go out and introduce myself to everybody and talk to everybody. And and you do that. You did that when you went to California. You did that when your first time at Invasion, you know, and even this year at Invasion when you were giving off your crown to the next girl. You know, you're in that room with a bunch of women and like you're the one softening that room to where not everybody has to be hating on each other.
Oh yeah, I've never liked that. It annoys me. I make fun of it. I'm like, hey, we don't all gotta be bitches to each other. Like we're like, you fall, you gotta help that other person at the end of the day. Like I've never liked that. I get it to a certain degree. If some people think differently than others, that's fine. But at the end of the day, we're all competing. Or, you know, you're just all together. Y'all all like the same shit. Y'all all came to the same show because you like where you're at. Yeah. So at least at some degree, you can get along for 10 fucking seconds.
Yeah, and like competition doesn't necessarily mean it's a complete fucking war.
Oh, yeah, no, not at all. It doesn't need to be. And, you know.
But I like I said, I wanted to make sure I put it out there was not a negative thing, but like, I really enjoy that aspect of how much you can just turn a room, and you know you've done that on several occasions. You know what? We were at a car show at some point in this.
Yeah, somewhere in this. It's just, and that's another.
I mean, this is Rotten Style Radio, so this is the style
part.
Podcast.
This is the style side.
Yeah.
This is going to be a long one, but hey, I haven't been on for 2 episodes, so I got all this shit to talk about.
Yeah,
now.
We got to catch up.
But no, I think this is a fun little long ass segment of, you know, just what we go through, what women go through to do these competitions and to have all the fun. And yes, I'm very happy. I'm very, like, I don't take my win away from nothing, but I am really happy that I won, and I'm happy that I brought 2 titles back to Texas. Yep. That was never done. The fact that I'm going to all these new places and it's my first year competing in these new places and I've won, like that says a lot.
And we will be back at Evil. I'm
Yes.
just going to put that on the
We are going to be
podcast.
back. I will be passing my crown to the next happy girl.
Yeah, she won't go and compete, so you don't have to worry, girls. That's just a proud husband.
Maybe I'm gonna go. Maybe I'll just. No, you know what? No, Christina competed. I may compete again, just for people's choice. Jimmy Dean Part 2.
Part 2.
No, I don't want to do that. I really
No,
don't.
we're gonna go back up there and just have fun on one trip.
Yes.
At least once.
I feel like a horrible wife because when I compete, you are like the chauffeur, you are the bag boy, you are everything else because you don't get to go see all the fun cars.
I'm the bellhop. I'm the puppy babysitter. Of course, I'm not here too.
You're the zipper.
The zipper. The zipper-er.
The zipper-er.
Yeah.
You do a lot. You do.
But I mean, that's just
That's the life. That's the life you lived when you decided to marry me, and unfortunately, I wanted to go do fun shit and dress hot all the time.
Yeah. Oh, it's terrible, guys. It's terrible. Don't do it.
Worst part of being a husband by far. But yeah, so sorry I bored y'all all with all that lovely shit. But no, end of the day, 2 titles home. I did everything I wanted to do. I succeeded in what I wanted to do. I was fucking happy. And then all the real fun started happening after that.
I know. We got to hang out with hooligans. We got to see Rumble Cats.
Yes.
Shout out to Jeff. Jeff, I met a wonderful man named Jeff.
His
has
new
a 32 Roadster with a flathead in it.
boyfriend number 4.
Oh my God.
This man has a boyfriend everywhere we fucking go. Like, I swear to God, every time you meet someone and you're like, oh my God, he's cool. I'm like,
He's
oh.
cool.
Yeah. He's like, oh my God.
Thanks for calling me out on the fucking show. It's fucking great. It's my wife, folks. It's my wife. I sat here for an entire hour just gloating about how fucking badass she is, and she just calls me out.
He's a whore.
Wow. Chuck, I promise I'm not. You can keep funding this podcast, please. Please. But yeah, badass fucking car. We got to fucking see B-Rad.
Yes, we did. And he voted for me as well. But we got some badass merch from him.
Yeah, we got
and Sin.
badass merch from Gas and Sin. We'll be vending with them, not in the same booth, but we will both be vending at Starbird.
Yes.
In Oklahoma in February.
My next show I will be competing in. Dun dun dun.
Yeah, so
Miss Bubble Top is what that one's called.
I like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I gotta show up in a bubble.
oh, that'd be rad.
Fuck that. I'm claustrophobic. Nobody take that fucking idea. I'm just kidding.
Just go out in a fucking bubble wrap.
I'm
We'll
gonna
make
do
your
no.
entire outfit our bubble wrap.
I'm gonna do a bubble boy. I'm just gonna be in a bubble.
Anyways, yeah, we will be vending for Rod and Style and all of the brands, actually.
AKA the Custom Couple.
And the
AKA
Custom
Scratch
Couple.
Garage.
Yeah, we're going to be doing all of that.
AKA Gnarly Magazine.
We're still trying to figure out how we're going to do that, but it's going to happen. We're going to record there. We're
going to be
we have a lot of
bringing-
plans for this show.
We're gonna be bringing rapey ducks.
Yeah. Yeah, shout out to Luke.
Rapey ducks. He's got rapey ducks, guys. If y'all didn't know that.
Matt's gonna possibly be out there helping us out and
Mini Matt.
cheering us out.
Jimmy Dean wants
Jimmy
to apparently
Dean
come
will
inside.
be on the podcast barking, but yeah, we got to see B-Rad. We got to see Jen from the Decent Boys.
Yes.
Of course, we hung out with Chad and Christina the whole weekend. We
With
hung
their
out with the
kids.
hooligans the whole weekend. I got to meet some hooligans that I haven't met before.
What were those guys' names? The ones that came up to us to meet us when we were over there by the swap meet area. They had that Cadillac and I don't remember the other car. He was in a vest and he had a little flat bill hat like this. He had chops. Don't remember his name. He was really nice. He was very excited to meet us.
Damn it! Now I'm like blanking.
I remember what he looks like. I just don't remember his name. But yeah, him and his friend.
Ethan.
There you go. Thank you. We got to meet them because they were excited.
Shout out to Ethan. I'm not gonna butcher your last name, so
I'm not gonna try it either.
Starts with an R.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. He's been big time supporter of us on all of the social medias, and I'm pretty sure he still listens to the podcast as well. But yeah, Ethan. Of course, Yancey Johnson. We got to meet Yancey.
Yeah, I immediately pointed out his car because his car is very iconic. I mean, you can tell.
I love his car.
But I remember getting all excited. I was like, "Oh my God, isn't that Yancey?" And you're like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, look, it's him."
Yeah, because like a bunch of Voodoo Kings were. We
had the same hair. We were sporting the same hair color.
I want to say he said Voodoo Kings out of 5 different chapters were there.
Yeah, went.
We got to meet a Voodoo King named Slick.
Oh yeah,
He was a wonderful old man that was staying in our hotel.
We got a badass car too.
Oh yeah, beautiful car.
It was so weird to call him Slick. So I was like, oh, that's Mr. Slick.
Mr. Slick, yeah.
We met a wonderful couple in Tennessee. They had a car. Remember the guy with the long hair, surfer hair?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. We met him and his lady.
They were staying at our hotel as well. Mm-hmm. They had a really cool coupe.
That dude probably thought I was following him. I kept seeing him in the damn elevator.
Everywhere we went, yeah. I caught him in the elevator once when I was taking Jimmy Dean outside. That's funny. Yeah, but that was the cool thing about staying at the host hotel for a show.
Yeah, you run into everybody.
Everybody, that's going to the show typically stays at the host hotel.
Yeah, you know what? Now that I think about it, that the day after, on Sunday after the show, a lot of the Voodoo Kings were downstairs because I said hi to them. I forgot her name, and I feel so bad. But when she came up to me and saw me, because I met her at Petersville.
Yeah. It said there was a few that we met at Beatersville
that were there,
and that this show is like kind of relative to the same local area, so we did run into a few people that recognized us from Kentucky.
Yeah.
Randomly, some guy walked past us and said that he loved our podcast, and
same with that lady.
And I turned around as he said it to you. And I turned, like I was in a conversation. I turned around and he had already like walked all the way off.
He did it really calmly.
And so I apologize if I didn't get to have a conversation with you at Eville Shindig, but feel free to message us.
Yeah, no, he was really nice. I'm trying to remember. He was wearing a hat. He was wearing a baseball hat. He was an older gentleman. I can't really describe much more than that because he was really quick. It was like literally just a passing by, and he was like, "Hey, I really enjoy y'all's podcast," and I was like, "Oh shit, hi!" And then he was already walking away, so I was like, "Shit." I was like, oh, "Okay, well, it's nice meeting you." But no, he was really nice. It's just, I think this was the show that was like, wow, like we're getting out there more. We're having more support everywhere. And it was such a good, fun show. I had so much fun, as much as I was in pain the past 3 days for being in heels and all the driving. We did it, we made it, and it was such a fun time. I can't wait to go back next year.
We got to meet Steve Fulton in person.
Yes.
He was hanging out in Dan's booth while he was pinstriping.
Yeah.
Apparently, he helps Dan with running the booth whenever they're doing shows. Yeah. So that's really cool. He's another one that, follows the podcast and everything that we're doing.
Dan pinstriped my name on a coffin purse.
Oh, that purse came out wonderful.
I love it. I stare at it to this day. It's so beautiful. I kind of fucked it up, Dan. I'm sorry. But that was my fault.
Well, it was just still kind of drying.
Yeah, but you can still see it. Everything's great. I just need to go over the purple just because I messed that part up. But anyway, that was the win. That was the People's Choice purse. That was where I had to put the money because I broke my bag.
Oh yeah, you broke the envelope. We had to stick the envelope into that purse, so just to give it some stability.
Yeah, but that is now going to be my official pinup pageant purse because it has my name and it's beautiful and it's in my favorite color. So that'll be my fun thing. So guys out there, if you need a wonderful purse pinstripe for your lady, I would go to Knucklehead Art.
Yeah, absolutely.
And get it done, because it is so beautiful. Like, I don't own anything with, believe it or not, even though with all the pageants I do, I had no purse with my name on it or anything. And he did that for me. Like, he literally did it in a couple, like the day of the show that I competed in. He did it in maybe an hour and a half, and it's so gorgeous. I love it. I love the way he pinstriped it. I love the way he did my name. Like, it's a special gift. It's something that nobody else has. It's mine.
Yeah. And then you got a gift of a purse.
Yeah.
From the swap meet, a guy, and he lettered it out for you as well.
Name? I just remember his last name, and I'm sorry if I don't remember your first name, but his last name is Tallwater, and I follow. He follows me on Instagram now. I found his Instagram, but his last name is Tallwater. He does art there. He does pinstriping there in Evansville. But I got this little carrying case. This old carrying case, and then he wound up pinstriping Siren Samma on it, and I told him to do whatever he wanted. I don't care. Like, I really didn't, and I told Dan the same thing. I was like, do whatever you want, just put my name on it. That's all I care about.
Yeah. And
he did this beautiful custom turquoise. He had to mix colors to make that turquoise, and he did turquoise and red. And it came out beautiful.
Yeah, it came out awesome too.
I love it.
We got like the biggest welcome in Indiana.
We did.
Bob, Mary, y'all put on an absolutely rad show. We got to meet Bob's sister.
Yes, Terry.
Terry, yeah.
I loved her. She was so sweet. She told me every day how beautiful I looked.
Oh yeah, she was super sweet.
She was so nice. She gave me a cup.
Shout out to the girls that were running the merchandise booth for Eville Shindig.
They were so sweet to me too.
They absolutely loved your look. They loved Jimmy Dean, of course. Who didn't?
I know, he got all the
loves.
loves.
I was just the one pulling the pink wagon.
Yeah, and then I was the one getting pulled by him. He stole the show.
So shout out to them. Shout out to all the food vendors, because y'all kept us alive.
Oh my God, it's Dan Johnson's fault. Why I love that stupid soda Ski.
Yeah. If you're in Indiana or the local Midwest area and you find Ski, go ahead and just thank us now.
And it's so weird because the can says a lemon orange flavor, but that's not what I get from it. It's like a better version of Mountain Dew.
I think so.
It's just so damn good.
It's like a mix between Mountain Dew and Sierra Mist.
Yeah.
Something in that realm.
Yeah, something.
But it's good. It's wonderful stuff.
It's delicious. I had a nice pork sandwich.
Oh, that pork sandwich was so good.
What was that group that was doing the drinks?
It was their local Shriners.
Yeah, they were there. They were really nice.
They kept me nice and toasty on some Bloody Marys.
Yeah, apparently the best Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
That you've ever had, which is crazy to me because you're very picky on your Bloody Marys. But they had amazing drinks. The food they had were great because we ate from them as well.
German bologna.
Yeah, no.
That's all I'm gonna say.
I thought it was French bologna.
No, German bologna.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
And then you got a pork sandwich.
Oh my God, that pork sandwich was so damn good.
There was a restaurant that was doing food there as well. I think they were called Froggies.
Yeah. And they had the little cart that was going around with meat.
They had some plates. I think it was like $12 for a plate, but it was like huge. One? I mean, grown men were not finishing this food.
Yeah. I thought Texas had big ass plates of food. That shit was huge.
They were giving out some portions.
Yeah. But great vendors, great food, amazing drinks. Those local Shriners are really nice. After I won, they gave me a free drink that I gave to you.
You know, the only complaints that I saw online so far about this year's Eville Shindig
was it long enough?
Well, that definitely. I mean, I always get the car show hangover on Sunday.
We definitely had it on that 24-hour drive.
Yeah, and it's not so much a hangover from drinking. It's just a hangover from having a good time and then realizing that you got to get back to life. But no, the only complaints that I was seeing was about the swap meet. And honestly, like, to me personally, it didn't seem like it was any different than any other swap meet that I've ever been to. So I don't know what the complaint really is.
I don't know. I thought it was great. I mean,
I thought they had
swap meets are what they sound like. You take your shit, you sell it, and not everybody likes your shit. Done.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if they expected a bigger swap meet or what.
More people selling stuff maybe.
But I mean, even the portion that we did go to, I thought it was great. I found a 59 license plate.
Yeah, you got a license plate. They had several folks that were selling the old vintage coolers.
Keith Bland got all those hubcaps.
Oh yeah, he got a ton of hubcaps.
He got like I think he got like 8.
Yeah.
8 or like 12.
So
hubcaps.
I mean, it didn't seem like it was any different than any other swap meet that I've been to.
I thought it was great. I think the only complaint that I honestly can think about, like truly, was that it just wasn't long enough. I had so much fun.
Yeah.
Like, we saw everything, but I feel like I didn't get to just like experience all of it.
The only thing, I'm gonna give y'all some shout outs now too, because we finally got to meet some creepers in person.
Yes.
Yeah, we've had them on the show. We got to meet them in person. And
they were making drinks.
They were making good drinks and everything. When the weather snapped and got cold on us.
Oh my God.
Shout out to B-Rad for giving us a hookup on some hoodies. But we had to bail out of there quick. And I was about to go and tell you, hey, we're going to go hang out in the Creepers camp. And, you know, they're mixing drinks and we're having a good time over here. And you were like, no, the dog is flipping out. He does not want to be cold.
He fucking hated it. I wish you saw how bad he freaked out. Like,
yeah,
this,
the dog flipped out at the cold weather.
He did not like it. Well, for one, he was woken up, and so he was already cranky and an asshole. And then he got a gust of that cold wind, and he was rolling in the tent. I couldn't keep him in the wagon. I was like, you need to fucking come now. We gotta go. And the minute we put him in the car, he was fine.
Oh, yeah. Once he was in the car, he went right to sleep.
He's very much baby-like. He gets fussy, and then he passes out.
So we didn't get a chance to hang out with the creepers longer than I wanted to. But, you know, that'll be next time.
Yeah.
And, of course, we didn't get to hang out with Bob. But
Bob
when you're
was running around
when
so
you're running
much.
a show, like, there's no time to hang out.
He
like,
was a trooper. He was Colonel Sanders.
He was Colonel Sanders at the Halloween party.
That was the best shit I'd ever seen.
You know, he was handing out awards when all the cars that won trophies and won.
He congratulated me.
fridges.
Yeah, mini fridge. Best of car show was a fucking pinstriped mini fridge.
Yeah, that was and a 100% like full blown custom VW bug.
Yeah, it didn't look like it at all. Unless
Didn't even look like a VW to me.
No, it didn't look like that at all. It was a beautiful olive green color, and then the inside of the interior was brown. It was just so beautiful. It was like stretched out. It looked really cool.
It was completely on the ground.
I didn't even know that's what it was until I read the placard of it. But yeah,
that was their best of show.
Best of show, and I agree. I think it was an absolute.
But they were giving out awards for a lot of different. You know, they had best muscle, best rat. They had. I mean, they just had a lot of.
When we bring Lux, we'll be longest distance.
Yeah. Yeah, longest distance. I mean, we would hope. I mean, maybe this podcast will, inspire some folks to come from the West Coast, come out and hang out in the Midwest.
It's definitely a show that I recommend highly. It's very rare, not very rare, but it's one of those things where, we go based, every year we want to go to more shows, so we try and pick and choose different ones every time. But from this, we definitely want to go back.
Yeah, I do. I want to go back and I want to experience Eville Shindig when it's not a job.
As just customers.
Yeah.
I did spend a fuckload of money though on all the merch we got.
We got some cool merch. We met some great vendors. I liked the way that their vending was set up.
The vending was amazing. I thought it's just that whole show. It's very thought out and thoughtfully put together. It's just an amazing show, and it was great. We wrapped it up in a little pink bow and called it a day.
Yeah.
And then we went to Kentucky like dumbasses to go pick up a mirror.
Oh my God. And it was a 24-hour drive home.
Yeah, that was the fun part.
Sleeping in truck stops.
So we're going to wrap this up really quick for you guys. But about a month before the show, I bought, because, you know, we live in a mid-century house now. It was made in 1959, so I'm on this hunt for things. I found this badass atomic mirror that I really wanted, but I found out it was in Kentucky. Well, guess what? I knew we were going to Indiana, so I called the shop, and it's North 27 Antique Mall. That's what it's called. In the middle of basically in the middle of nowhere, because there wasn't shit out there when we went. I called them up. And I told them, I tried to explain it the best I could. I was like, I really want this mirror, but I can't go get it until October because I'm going to go compete in a pinup contest. But the guy called me back. We handled the payment over the phone. Got it on discount, which was even better. But they had to hold it for an entire month and a half. And their policy is like they can only hold it for like 4 days.
Yeah.
So
thank you for that.
I was very happy for that. I was super excited. So I just let him know as we were on the road, like, hey, I'm probably going to come on Sunday. Hey, I'm on my way, all this fun shit. What I did not think about, which is why my husband doesn't like me to say, hey, let's go pick something up. I don't take into account for how big things can be. This mirror was fucking ginormous. And we were in a Toyota Camry. So trying to figure out how this mirror was going to fit was not fun. So long story short, we couldn't lean back the chairs. The dog had to, the poor pup, I had to use a suitcase to prop the mirror up so that he had room and he wasn't getting squished. But he was fine. He slept like a baby. But he couldn't see us, so that drove him nuts. But so we drove like basically sitting straight up for 24 hours. We slept in a Love's gas station for 2 hours, continued on the road, got home, and passed out.
Yeah. But we have cool stuff, and I mean,
I'm like, I just made that really short, but oh my God, that was intense. That I was so, and that was even the better part. We stopped at a QT that we stopped at previously when we went to Kentucky the first time. And I tried maneuvering that mirror in the trunk like 6 different ways, and it just didn't work. So I was like, fuck it. We're just going to have to gun it home and hope for the best.
And we did. We made it home, obviously, because we're able to, put out more episodes of the podcast to you. But every time we go on the road, every time we meet new people, every time that we go to a show that we've never been to, we have gotten suggestions of what the next show we should go to. So 2 shows that we're going to throw on the radar. They've been on our radar before.
But now they're definitely hit on it.
So 2 shows for next year. One's going to be Vintage Torque Fest.
Yes.
And the other one will be Simcoe.
Simcoe, oh my God. I want to do that one. I feel so sorry for you too, because that one's a contest as well.
Yeah, so we have been suggested those shows several times from the folks out there that we've seen at Beatersville. So
I think if our
Eville.
I think if our itinerary is right, because I'm trying to think of, I think it's going to be Starbird, and then Simcoe, and then Vintage Torque Fest, or vice versa with Vintage Torque and Simcoe. But yeah, those are the 2. You know, one I really want to go to that just happened this past weekend?
What's that?
I want to go to Huffarama.
Huffarama, yeah.
I want to go to that one.
That's the Dead Sleds put that one on.
I really want to go to that one too. I saw a lot of pictures of it this past show, and it looked great.
Yeah, we actually had
I know.
Dead Sleds on the show with
when
us
we first started
the Custom Couple podcast.
Yeah, he was really nice. But yeah, we've got a lot of shows coming up, and you know, the more that y'all support us and love what we do, buy our merch on rodandstyleradio.com, right? .net, .com.
.com.
The more y'all support and hang out, our lovely, amazing sponsors that have been with us since the beginning of the year, you know, with all that, that's what helps us do what we love to do and help us bring the content that y'all love to hear.
Shout out Henry.
Oh my God, Henry Beecher and his beautiful wife. Oh,
You don't have to say why, but just shout out.
I love y'all so much. And Henry, just so you're very much aware, thank you. I'm not going to tell everybody why, but thank you.
Yeah, he was a winner of one of our trophies when we went to Houston.
Oh my God, and he was so happy, and his
he
wife
has
was
just
so
been
happy for
so
him.
supportive of everything that we're doing, and
I took pictures with his car.
Follows everything that we do. He gives us all kinds of love and support on the pages. So I just want you to know we appreciate that shit for real. That goes for all of y'all that actually interact with us. Like I said at the beginning of this show, that is a big deal to us. So go on there, like, share, comment, complain. I don't give a shit if you complain.
I think the fun fact that people should know is that we really do talk about all the people that support us. We do that on a daily. That's what keeps us going, because, you know, I'm not gonna lie, we have those moments where it's like, hey, like, do we still feel like we're bringing the best? And then we get the comments, and we get the people excited to meet us, and it shows like,
and we get new people messaging us, and that just shows the growth. It's
what we get back from what we do. It's the appreciation of what people think of what we do is so good. And it's like, sometimes I don't think we realize what we do or what impact we make on it, and it's like, wow, like, we really do that, and it just means a lot to us. So again, thank you, everybody. Thank you for letting me ramble on for 2 hours about pinup contests. I'm sorry that's not what you came to hear, but welcome to Samma Siren.
Welcome to my life.
Welcome to Samma Siren on Rod and Style Radio.
It was only an hour and a half.
Only an hour and a half. Hey. You know what? They always tell us, you know, that is the one complaint we get. We get the complaint that we're not long enough on these episodes.
Yeah, we actually have gotten that complaint that they would like our episodes to be longer.
There's frequent.
They would like more frequent episodes and longer episodes, which is cool. Like, the curve, it changed on us, because when I was doing podcasts before...
Get over it.
Yeah, they were...
Get on with it.
Yeah, they were wanting like 30 to 45 minutes. It was like, you know, your key audience. But now, like, that has changed, and like, they're pushing into longer shows, and people like the longer shows. So this is fine. I'm good with it. And, you know, it's not like we just came on here and just like didn't talk about anything at all.
Why was that so long? That was ridiculous.
That was the emphasis of how boring some shows are.
I was gonna say, like, I was like, what the fuck are you doing? You having a stroke over there?
Exactly. And some of these podcasts, I think they do just have a stroke on their podcast.
Wow. But all right, guys, we are gonna head out because Jimmy Dean is yelling that he is tired of being outside.
He doesn't run my life.
He runs our life.
Jimmy Dean does not run my life.
Jimmy Dean definitely runs our life. I'm sorry, but he does. We are on his schedule. This is his time. He is baby.
Anyways, y'all have listened to us on Rod and Style Radio with the culture's favorite couple, the custom couple. And this episode is brought to you by Knucklehead Custom Art, because we absolutely had a blast hanging out with Dan.
Thank you for my butt sticker.
You got a butt sticker?
Remember the little one?
Oh, that's right.
What did you think I had?
I don't know. I don't know what you have.
It's a... Wow. All right.
I don't know your life.
Okay, bye. All right, guys, we're going to head out. Thank you for supporting us and in all things custom.
Keep it cool.